We all love spoiling our dogs, right? And I'm all about that with mine too. But what if I told you there's a way to spoil your pup while actually making them a better trained dog? Now, we may, think about spoiling our dogs, and that may mean, more toys or long hikes, treats. And oh my gosh, several people responded to my question and they said, oh, they home cook their meals for them. Isn't that wonderful? And loving them, of course, spoiling them by loving them. These are all great. But what I would like to suggest is you can take this to the next level. And by that, I mean take him to the level where you can also have a calmer, more trainable dog that listens to you. So, my name is Linda Kwan, and I am the owner and trainer at Wow Bow Wow. I specialize in working with families with family dogs, you know, the companion dogs. I help them train a well mannered, a well adjusted dog. Now, I work with the baby puppies, like the 2 to 4 month old, as well as adolescent dogs. I'm talking about the teen dogs, the rambunctious dogs. Uh, they start maybe like 4 or 5 months old till it could be 2 years. And one of my clients before, she used to call her dog the wild child. And this is the most difficult period. I believe this is the most difficult period of raising your dog. But when she gets past this, man, you'll have an amazing dog. And of course, I work with the pup parents with the rescue dogs that they just brought home or rehome to them, or they may have a dog and there's a certain behavior that's starting to come out, and they want to change that. So today, my topic is about spoiling your dog, but spoiling your dog, and and in reality, you can spoil your dog and help them become a calmer dog, a more trainable dog, a dog that actually listens to you. Now, how does this happen? So, I don't know if you realize there are certain behaviors or instinctual behaviors that if you fulfill them, give them opportunities to do them, you will get those wonderful calmer dogs. So let me give you some examples. Let me go back here. Go to the next slide. So let's talk about your dog. It could be by breed or your dog's personality, but what were they bred to do? What is their job? What do they enjoy doing? So some of them may have been bred to chase. There's certain dogs that love to chase. Like for example, the sighthounds may enjoy chasing, and so you may want to give them opportunities to do that. Maybe like playing fetch or with a flirt pole. Now, if you have a herding breed, yeah, they nip at your ankles and they herd your kids. So you know what? A herding ball. Have you heard of that? There are several ways that you can fulfill their needs too. Now, there are some of these breeds that like to search. They were bred to search for small rodents, and that may include digging for them. So giving them opportunities to dig, maybe a designated area in your garden, or, pile of blankets with treats or kibbles to find, digging them out of the pile of blankets or towels. Does that make sense? Some breeds, there's two different kinds. Some like the grab and mouth, they find that really rewarding. So maybe teaching them to bring you things, fetch things to you. Or some of them, like the retrievers, literally retrieve, holding things in their mouth and showing them off to you. So making a really fun game of them bringing things to you when they come greet you at the door, right? And instead of doing that, instead of jumping on you, maybe you can teach them to do that. How about those terriers? Do you have one of those type of dogs that love to shred things? So give them things to shred. Maybe it's a bunch of boxes, like some Amazon boxes you just got, or maybe some egg cartons or newspaper. There's several dogs that love shredding paper for sure. So, as dogs, as a species, a lot of them love using their nose and seeking. So, playing games like throwing food on the ground in the backyard or on your walks and let them seek, search, right? And just generally, this may not be a job per se, but playing, just generally playing. And that may be already on your, how you spoil your dogs. But I want to just make sure you put that in there. Just generally playing with them, getting on the ground with them, or any of these other types of suggestions I just shared with you. So, in the comments, share with me which type of these jobs or natural behaviors does your dog love to do? If you're coming back and watching the replay, hashtag replay and put in the comments, what does your dog love to do? And it can be more than one of these things for sure. And so, as I was talking about these different jobs or natural behaviors, I gave you some quick suggestions, some ideas of what activities you can offer them. Now, you know, I have this in here because I posted I posted a uh, Instagram post, um, basically asking people how they spoil their dogs. And the answers I got so far were pretty amazing. And they were about feeding them really good food, preparing amazing food for them. And another one answered about giving their dog a spa day. And I responded to that one saying, my gosh, I would love to be, I would love to be that dog. But it may have been because a dog is older and or maybe having pain. So, you know, this is something else I want to just quickly bring up. If your dog is um, having arthritis or pain throughout the body, addressing that can also help them be a calmer dog, a dog that listens better because they don't feel so bad. Does that make sense? Anyway, I hope you found my training tip helpful today. And like I mentioned, we love spoiling our dog, but the extra payoff that I wanted to share with you is that if you give them these opportunities, so learning what your dog loves to do, and and then giving them these opportunities. And I just wanted to make sure I say this because sometimes we may think, oh, buying them a bunch of toys and things like that. But when you buy them toys, think about how do they like to play? What kind of activities do they like to play? Is it tearing things up, mouthing them, tugging at them? So getting the right kind of toy with the right kind of material is very helpful. Chewing, dogs that chew adolescent age, it's a horrible time because they like to chew up everything, but giving them the right type of toy to chew, whether it be something maybe leathery or maybe I like to give my dogs these um, bones. It's like I think it's a femur. I'm not sure what part of the bone it is. It's split in half. They love eating the marrow, but then they love chewing the bone part. So giving them opportunity to chew, right, is also great. Now, the right kind of activity. So for some dogs, meeting other dogs may be a really, really wonderful thing for them. But then there are some dogs who are very selective of who they meet. So thinking that, taking them out for a walk or taking them to a dog park may not be what your dog considers, something that they would like to be spoiled with. So keep that in mind too. So, maybe even considering play dates with certain kind of dogs that they would like to play with, or certain levels of energy. I have a puppy that I am working with that he's, I think, almost a year old by now, but he's going through a fear phase where he has forgotten how to meet other dogs. He wants to meet them, but then when he gets really close to them, he, I think, panics. I think he panics and he becomes anxious and then barks and then runs away, moves away from them. And so, that sequence of being able to meet another dog, nose, coming together, nose to nose, and going at each other's butts, and then doing a little circle maybe, and then relaxing, and then one of them may offer a play bow and go forth, like that, and that's a beautiful introduction to each other. But, he's having a hard time doing that. He's having a hard time getting past that first stage. Well, it's kind of second stage after the approach is the nose and nose parts. And so helping him get through that. So, meeting other dogs for him, and you may think, oh, I am spoiling my dog by taking him out to new places and meeting dogs, but that may not be the right kind of way to spoil your dog. Now, another dog I've been working with is a dog that struggles outside walking in the neighborhood. But we met at one of our group field trips at a park. And oh my God, I saw a totally different dog. He was so enjoying the smelling, the sniffari of the landscape. I'm sure there's lizards and rabbits and other things he's smelling out there. But he was so much happier. His tail was up and he was just enjoying all the scents. And so, we discovered that is how we're going to spoil him in the future. Walks in nature. So let's summarize here. So let's find the right way to spoil your dog. And I'm not saying, what you're doing is wrong. Watch your dog, observe your dog. Make sure it is the things that they really enjoy. And if they're a certain kind of breed or have a certain kind of personality, enjoy certain types of things, add a couple more things to spoil your dog. And then lastly, when you spoil your dog like this, what happens? Oh my gosh, you'll get a calmer dog, a dog that will listen, and a dog that's trained. So joining me for my Training Tip Tuesday, and I will see you next Tuesday. Oh, and by the way, if by chance you would like to get a free guide on how to give your dog these amazing um, spoiling activities, um, put in the comments, spoil my dog. And then I'll share with you a link to a guide that I'm putting together. I will have it finished by the end of this week, but I'm just still in the middle of putting it together. So put in the comments, spoil my dog, and I will share with you the link to that guide. All right. Thank you for joining me for my Training Tip Tuesday, and I will see you next week.